from their studio in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster Matt Koza, co-host and creative genius Josh Perry, co-host and interviewer extraordinaire Ann Lazito, co-host and marketing mogul Aaron Murphy, with appearances from special guest Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. We're so happy you were able to join us this evening. Welcome to our first impression session of Gruff, Whispers of Madness, the new expansion of the Gruff series from Studio Woe, which was live on Kickstarter tomorrow.
So if you're watching this on video on demand, it's probably live already.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Go to Kickstarter, type in Gruff, singular. That's a joke from the previous video, so make sure you check out our previous video to catch that joke. So this is our first impression session. If you did not get a chance to sit and watch the entire playthrough, this is a quick video to give you an idea of how we felt about the game after our first impressions about the game. Things we liked, things we did not like, and things that, most important question of the evening.
Would we play it again?
There we go. So Joshua, there's only two of us. I'm out of rhythm without having Matt.
So real quick, thank you to Studio Woe for sponsoring this week's streams.
And this stream and all this week's streams. Big shout out to Studio Woe. We really, truly appreciate them. Studio Woe has been a supporter of Twist Gaming since the very beginning, and we are eternally grateful. We got to check out Gruff in its early stages, the original Gruff. I got Gaptooth. Make sure, if you like Gruff, if you're interested in any of the other Gruff series games, to check out our earlier videos on Gruff series. They're not as polished as the videos now, but then again, I'm out of rhythm here, so quality is just, yeah.
So, Ann, what kind of game is Gruff?
No, Joshua, that's your question, because you're a nerd.
Gruff is a head-to-head card game, kind of like Magic the Gathering or any other of those Pokemon or any of those cards. Though it is not a collectible card game, or get everything in the box, you have it. You can kind of build your own deck with the cards in the game. And you play as a shepherd with 3 of your Gruff or your sheep. And you battle other shepherds and their sheep. Or goats. I don't know why I said sheep. I just...
Shepherd, sheep. I think you just went with the alliteration.
Shepherd, sheep. So Whispers of Madness adds a new faction of goats to the game. What are they called? We had it earlier. Now I feel bad.
I want to say deep think, but I don't know if
the deep thinks.
Hey now.
So which are kind of like the old gods, Cthulhu-based kind of things. They're kind of cool. Like Fluttermine, which is totally Cthulhu. Fluttermine's awesome.
Apologize for the green screeny.
But no, you play your, each shepherd has a life, and you have to try to kill the other shepherd by battling your goats. Spoiler alert, and won. Just barely won. She held in there.
I did.
By pure luck.
Oh my god, yes.
By the heart of the cards.
Oh god, yes. By 1 point of health at the end.
And our winner, what are your favorite things about Gruff?
Well, we all know that I absolutely love Gaptooth. The first thing that I like about Gruff is that the art style makes the game a little less intimidating, a little more welcoming. The whole game kind of is tongue-in-cheek. It is... one of the first factions are the Stuffles. So the art style is like stuffed animal, cutesy. Your shepherds battling mutated goats. I mean, I think come on. How cute. This is the same art style that carries over through the other games. And that's absolutely, I think, favorite part of this game. What I also like about the game is that it is kind of easy to sit down to get your starter set, your recommended cards to start off with, and after you review what the various cards do, you kind of get an idea of how to play the character. The synergies are obvious, essentially. It's not necessarily my place. This shepherd was not necessarily my play style.
Okay.
But even if something's not my play style, it was easily recognizable to me how I should play this character. And I think sometimes games aren't so apparent as to how to. It's not so. It's not transparent as to how you should be playing a character.
Okay.
So that's nice as far as strategy. Once we got going, it is a quick game, essentially. I mean, you have 3 Billy Goat Gruff. You have 3 goats. So it's not going to be a huge army to send out or to defeat for your other player. And your life is only, for these 2 characters, 8 points. So everything is set up for it to be a quick, short game, which is nice because with me personally not being a fan of like PvP or confrontational games, it's nice to kind of, you get that sting of a loss, and with a short game, you can play again, which gives you an opportunity to kind of redeem yourself. So I think those are my favorite points. Specific to the Whispers of Madness expansion, of course, I like seeing more goats with more abilities. May I see the Madness token? So the Madness token is a new ad for this expansion, and I happened to be playing the Shepherd who synergizes with the Madness tokens, and this was kind of a neat add-on, a neat additional piece. So as Josh continued to gain crazy, which allowed him to do more things, I was able to flip that against him. So that was kind of a neat, different kind of strategy that I'm not used to seeing in Gruff. Additionally, I felt like this version of the game, I had to pay a lot more attention to what was happening on the board as a whole and not just my goats. I had to pay attention to what was happening with your goats and see how they impacted my cards. And that's always nice because it keeps you engaged in the game for both sides. I think those are my favorite parts. So what about you, Joshua? What did you like about this game?
As always, the art's great. I actually really, really liked how Fluttermine played. It was very quick ramp up, glass cannon. You need to go and do it. And he ramped up fast.
Yeah.
Really fast.
Yeah.
How was that? I hit 20, turn 3?
So, yeah. And then it was funny because at one point during the game, you're like, I'm at 7 now. I was like, you haven't been at 7 since your first turn.
So I really enjoyed how this played over the previous one. I think the new sanity thing is really cool. And both shepherds played very differently. I couldn't pick up, I didn't see all your cards, so I couldn't pick up quite what your strategy was.
Oh, okay.
I saw some of your cards, but I didn't see what the high cost cards were and how everything synergized together.
It was definitely a almost like a blood magic strategy.
Yeah.
It was the more damage I took, the stronger I became.
Okay.
So, and that was...
Which is a good mix with this character just because I'm going to be doing a lot of damage and I ramp up quickly. So it's cool. I like the new sanity thing. I thought that was interesting. I really didn't have any sanity cards. I think I had one in the basic deck.
Really?
Yeah, I had one sanity card. And even in my there's literally one card for all my Gruffs for the sanities. But I was playing pure insane, like the crazy guys. That was the buff. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with it. I actually, it's probably my favorite chapter that I've played so far, or favorite group I've played so far.
Okay. So what is something that you might wanted to change or that you weren't entirely excited about or pleased with?
I think that it's the one thing I've said at every Gruff criticism is I would love for there to be a unique art on the cards. I know we've always said that's expensive and it doesn't work all the time, but It's just so cute and adorable. I want to see more of it. And I think one of us said that every time we've done the first impression for this game because there's that. The only thing like that felt like kind of bad, like I put out the 20-point card and you just got rid of it. Like it was nothing. Like yeah, here. That's the way.
I did, and that felt good for me.
I know. Yeah, but that was that's the game.
Yeah. So, was there anything else that you...
We ran out of tokens, Brent. We need more tokens, apparently.
More madness tokens. We ran out, it was one, right?
Whisper
Well, and
tokens.
that was the question is, I think in games, it's important to know whether the whether the physical limitation of cards is a limitation in the game. Because like in Madara, when we play, if you don't have any more monsters, then that's it.
Yeah.
And that's true to a lot of games, and I don't know if that was necessarily the case here.
Not typically for token. Oh, for like when it's typically called a token card, it's typically not. You just can use a like I put like a turn order card there,
yeah,
just to represent
to
that was
indicate.
there. That doesn't really matter too much, but.
I forgot to even mention that it was different with the new.
They will ship with 10, no physical.
Markers.
Okay.
Perfect. That the cards have where you can reduce the cost. Reduce your crazy to use certain kinds of cards. Whew, that was a whole lot of mouthful.
So you had cards that you had to be under a certain amount?
No. I meant to say that you mentioned how you didn't have a lot of the new style cards where you would reduce your crazy in order to use them, and my deck actually had quite a few. So I wonder if that was a strategy choice. I got stuck. I got a bad draw.
Okay.
I was looking, and I really thought that I was going to lose. So if you go back and check out the playthrough video, there's when Josh is about to do his final attack, I really thought that I was done for. So I played out the move with you folks at home, and you helped me to not die. And I got a little frustrated because I had several high-cost cards in my hand, the 19, 18, and 15. And the way that my character plays, whereas you quickly ramp up your crazy, my character did not have a lot of crazy to use. And I was a little frustrated by that. It seemed difficult to get to the crazy level I would have needed to do a lot of things. So I just went through the starter selection deck, though, and those were the only 3 cards over 10. So I believe I'm going to chalk that up to a bad starter draw, which kind of limited the things that I could have done.
Okay.
I know you've mentioned the art and having more art because it's absolutely adorable, and I know that it's cost a lot of money. I have a different reasoning that I would like to see different art, and it's that I think it's always very confusing when you first sit down to Gruff whether the art is indicative of which Gruff you can use the card with. So we try to make that very clear through the playthroughs that that's not the case, that you can use the cards with any of them. But I think at face value, when you first sit down, that's a confusing concept. Anything else that I would like to see? We liked the art. What about the play? No, I liked the play. Because I like Gruff. I liked the Whisper and Madness tokens. I mean, I feel like I liked the Whisper and Madness tokens and how that interacted with the Insanity. You were the one who was most impacted by that new mechanic. How do you feel about being on that side?
It helped you ramp up at the beginning, but then it turned into like, oh no, you can just attack now, especially if you got too many of them. Something I would like to see. I wish there was like an indicator saying when you were insane. It's in the rule book. I don't know.
That it's 30 and that there isn't like
20. It's 20.
Oh, that's right. The sergeant max is 30.
Yeah. Just because that was something I had to dig through the rule book just to figure out, which is in the glossary in the back, I think. Yeah.
But you wishing that there was an indicator on the Shepherd card for it?
The Shepherd card, or maybe on the Whisper card, just saying, hey, this is reminder. This is how this plays. There's room on the card. The other thing I was looking for you, I don't see if there's no official mulligan rule. Typically with these games, you get a mulligan. You can.
I
discard your
considered
first hand.
asking after my first draw because I feel like 2 of those 3 cards went into my starter hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, we'll just see how it goes. I think that there's one other important thing that I wanted to mention about things that I like. I know we're kind of going back and forth. This flavor text is the best. Like, it had me giggling the whole game. I love Buster. He's so noble and disposable. He's not housebroken, but he knows some great tricks. Look who got all stirred up into a blood rage. Like, it's just adorable. Fluttermind, perhaps just a little snuggle. So, I mean, and there's a lot of flavor text on the cards, and I think that that's even if you don't have unique art. Mulligan is by Shepard, Doc, or Dr. Acid. Mulligan is by Shepard, Doc, and Dr. Acid. I missed it. It went over my head.
I'm assuming those are some shepherds that have a mulligan ability as their thing.
That's interesting. That's a good point. Joshua,
Yes.
most important question of the evening.
Yeah.
Would you play it again?
Of course. No, I enjoy Gruff a lot. It's a game that I probably should pick up more to play, and I do enjoy it. And I really enjoyed. I think actually Matt and I, these are like, so we played Magic last weekend, and like these were kind of like the decks we were playing with, and this is our style. And I should have grabbed this. I didn't know what these decks were like though, so.
Now you know for next
now
time?
We know for next time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And Anne, how about you?
Definitely. I feel like once I get some strategy under my belt, it's always fun to play these kinds of games for the first time too, because when I don't have a strategy down, it's fun to be like, all right, I'm going to put this card out and see what happens. But I definitely want to play again and obviously play with different shepherds and kind of see what happens next time. See if I can hold my crown as reigning champion. We're never going to play again, and that way you can never beat me.
Okay.
I like that rule. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for tuning into our first impression session. Make sure that you check out the Kickstarter for Gruff, Whispers of Madness. If you're watching this on recorded, live now on Kickstarter. Make sure that, big thank you to Studio Woe for sponsoring this stream, as well as all this week's streams. I think that's it for our first impression session. Check out the Kickstarter. Josh, you got anything else you want to say about the first impression session?
Well, thanks for joining. Join us tomorrow for our KDM stream.
I'll get on that.